There is this feeling that comes over you when you put something really cool out into the world. When you just pour your heart and soul out and you create something and it feels like a miracle that you created it. There is no feeling like it. And I am radiating with that energy because my newest book, Born Magic, is available for pre order. And I'm going to read some of it to you today. We know that you were born magical. We know that you are intuitive, and we know that you are brimming with everyday enchantment. Here at the Sisters Enchanted, we believe in intention, we believe in intuition, and we believe in everyday magic. Welcome in to the Expedition to Soul podcast. Welcome to today's episode of Expedition to Soul. I'm Sarah, founder of the Sisters Enchanted. And y'all, Born Magic, my newest book, is here, ready for pre-order. This book, I started months and months and months ago and went through a couple of expansions, iterations, and I'm really, really, really overjoyed to get it into your hands right now. It is available for pre-order. And when you pre-order the book by the end of August, you will also gain access to a class, an inner child healing class that I'm going to host in early September. I'll host it live, but you'll get the replay, of course, plus a special edition Stay Magic magazine, but with the Born Magic takeover. And in this magazine are all kinds of Born Magic extras for you to coincide with the book. There's herbs, activities, teas, recipe, like so much good stuff. So you're going to want to pre-order the book by the end of August for those extra bonuses, plus a book club in our community group through the month of September to celebrate the arrival of Born Magic to the world. So I have here in my hand the proof copy of the book, and it was a book that I wrote Born Magic actually after a sort of, it was like a presentation or kind of a class, kind of a workshop, not a workshop, more like a presentation that I gave all the way back in, I think it was, I don't know, months and months ago. And what I was talking about in that class was really about living an aligned life and why it's so freaking hard to live a life that feels aligned with your highest desires, your truest, most authentic self. So what is that even? Like, let's look at that sentence. What is an aligned life? Because that sentence in and of itself is unclear. It's pretty unclear. When I think of alignment, I think of things that are in a row, right? Things that make sense together. You can think of um like your tires getting aligned or your energy getting aligned or your spine if you go to a chiropractor, getting everything in alignment. When we live a life that feels aligned, it feels like everything is where it should be. It feels like our energy is moving to the place where we want it to move. It feels like we are living a life that feels like ours authentically and not like we are darting off on all these pathways, changing our hats and trying to change ourselves to fit into different molds along the way. It feels like we are doing things and living life in such a way that we are on a path that feels fully alive and fully on purpose to us. That's what it feels like when we live a life that is aligned with our highest desires, our truest purpose, what being alive means to us. And when I look around at people and my experience in this world so far, through work and adulthood, I see so many reasons why we don't live lives that feel aligned, largely because of societal pressures and expectations. Also, just the fear of failure and kind of a good girl syndrome, what I sometimes refer to as the sacral curse, where we put our passions on the back burner in order to prioritize other people and their needs and keeping them happy and being people pleasers. But even more so, something that I have not talked about a lot in the Sisters Enchanted world is the stories that you were told about yourself, about who you are as a kid. They create who you think you are as an adult. And before the Sisters Enchanted, I was a teacher and I worked specifically with people on developing their learning skills and their executive function skills. So, executive functioning, this is the strategy, this is the piece of you, your brain, that helps you to multitask. It helps you to remember information. It helps you to prioritize and plan and stay on time and understand how long it will take to do things. It's also the piece of you that your social skills are impacted by executive function skills and how you perceive what people are saying around you, body language, those kinds of things, working memory. So, what you're able to recall right now and hold on to in terms of new information coming in, being able to hold a thought in a conversation. So, you think of something, but not interrupting and holding it for later and not forgetting it. Those skills. Now, the thing about these skills and what does it have to do with what we do here at the Sisters Enchanted? It all comes together. And that's what this book is about. The thing about these skills is that they develop over a long time for people. So executive function skills, it's not like you turn 3 and these things happen, and then you're 12 and these things happen, and then you're 20 and these things happen. It's a spectrum of development that happens over a long time period, and they're not fully developed until the mid 20s. And so that means that some people who develop certain skills at the age of 17 might not develop them until 25. But what you're told about what you are able and not able to do at that age impacts the decisions that you make. What you're told that you are able to do at the age of, you know, 12 that maybe you could do later at 16, but you can't do at 12, that impacts, though, how you feel when you show up in life as a kid and the decisions that you make and the thoughts you think about yourself. And all of these stories, they impact the stories you tell yourself right now. So if you're a person and you're listening to this podcast and maybe you've gone into your astrology or your expansion archetype or you're trying to manifest something into your life and you're like, it's just not working, I just don't get it. These stories impact what you allow yourself to receive as an adult. So if you told yourself all along as a kid that you weren't good enough at something, or you weren't smart enough, or you weren't worthy enough, or somebody else was more worthy, or you didn't say the right things at the right time, and now you question everything you say all the time, those stories are playing in loops inside of your energy constantly as an adult. And it's not until we see and remember that you were literally born whole, you were born worthy, you were absolutely born magic. And when you realize that, we can rewrite these stories, release their grip on us, and allow ourselves to step fully into our own authenticity, into our own magic, and into the life that you desire to be living in the present and cast this amazing future. And it comes back to remembering that you, my friend, were born magic. So I am, if you can't tell, really excited to get this book in your hands. I'm going to go ahead and read to you from the first chapter. I'm not going to read the whole first chapter. I'm just going to read some of it so you can get a little glimpse here. I'll tell you more about the book, what's included in the book, because there are activities for you in here. There are journal prompts in here for you. I'm going to go into the whole thing, the structure of it, so you can get your pre-order in and take advantage of these bonuses. But let me read some of it for you. This is chapter 1. Here's where things go sideways. Why is it that some 7-year-olds are able to keep their rooms clean or organize their folders and backpacks while some aren't? Why is it that some 17-year-olds can manage every bit of the high school experience flawlessly, while others can't remember their lunch money, homework, or what class they're supposed to be going to, even after 3 years of doing the same thing each and every day? Why is it that Kim at the office can find the time to bake homemade cookies for the break room, do yoga every morning, and take tiny humans to soccer while you can barely remember what day of the week it is? The answer lies in executive function skills. These are the skills that help you organize things and ideas, start and complete tasks, manage multiple ideas at once, and understand the way other people around you are thinking. Now, this gets interesting. These skills develop in various capacities anywhere between the ages of 3 and 18 and aren't fully developed until age 25 for many people. I'm simplifying and distilling this idea down for the purpose of the book, but this should bring us to a screeching halt. Some people learn to start tasks all on their own as young as 6 years old. Others may not develop this skill until they are 12. Let's do the math. That's a 6-year time frame. Some people will learn to manage a calendar and break big tasks into smaller ones as young as 13, and others may be 25 before the skill is fully developed. 12 years. There are 12 years for this skill set to fully form. What does this have to do with living an aligned life? Every freaking thing. The first step to living an aligned life is deciding what aligned life means for you. What does it look like? What does it feel like? What do you want to feel like? Sounds easy enough, right? Here's where things go sideways and where we circle back to executive function skills. We can't answer any of these questions in a truly authentic way because we are buried under the stories of what we learned to be true about ourselves in childhood. Our frame of reference and how big we can dream is inhibited by what we learned from a young age that we are or are not good at, and who we should and shouldn't be based on the feedback we received about ourselves along the way. The development of your executive function skills and whether or not they met the expectations of the grown-ups around you at any point created your inner dialogue and what you think to be true about yourself. These skills impact every action you take and decision you make, impacting every area of your life. For 18 years or more of your life, you learned that you are not what you are and are not capable of through the lens of external expectation. Read it again. For 18 years or more of your life, your formative years, you learned what you are and are not capable of through the lens of external expectation. Sit with that for a minute. The cherry on top of this rubbish sundae is that these standards were all created to create standard humans. If you're reading this, you're anything but standard, and that's a very good thing. Oh, I'm so excited for you to read this book. All right, here's how this book plays out, the journey that you're taking on. You learn information about what is going on in our and us as humans. And then we have a fictional character, Christine. I will tell you my middle name is Christine, so it really is just a name that I chose. But I use my middle name. We have a fictional character, Christine, and we follow Christine's journey also through this book as she comes to terms with her own stories and navigates decisions and stepping away from people pleasing to remember that she is worthy of living a life that feels like magic, just like you are. Now, with each chapter, we also feature a real life story from one of the community members here at the Sisters Enchanted and hear about their own journey into remembering who they are and their worth and stepping into their magic. There are journal prompts with each and every chapter. There are 5 journal prompts for each one. We go into our 5I framework, of course, because I would not bring up a book without our 5I framework in there. And we talk about that with each chapter as well, and the piece of the puzzle that goes with the chapter. You are also given an embodiment exercise or practice for each chapter to help you like release the pent up energy that comes with reading this book, because this book it's beautiful and it also does not mess around. We will pull the stories to your surface with this book. And you're going to want to do the embodiment exercises to release the energy that comes when you read these stories. And there's also a make magic section for each chapter as well. And in there, you'll have a suggestion for a ritual type activity to do, a grounding practice, something to help you, again, tangibly move the energy through you, but also connect to yourself on a deep level. In the back of the book, we have included our life alignment quiz for you to take and 10 different 5I templates to help you start to make changes in your life right away, even if you're not sure what to do. So there's a template in here for family communication, career transitions, financial investment, relationship transitions, for finding your groove again, a healthy lifestyle, becoming more assertive, relationship boundaries, imposter syndrome, and even boosting your libido. Now, I asked our community which 5I templates they would like to see the most, and these are the ones that they gave us, and I delivered in this book. There's also inside of the book a QR code that you can scan after you have the book in your hands that will lead you to even more bonuses to go with the book, including a meditation series, created your own Born Magic manifesto, some affirmations. We really packed the goodness into this Born Magic book. And again, when you buy your copy by the end of August, you're also going to get the Inner Child Healing class, which I will deliver live in early September. And you can have the replay of, if you can't make it live, a special edition Stay Magic digital magazine, and a chat area in our community group for the month of September to do a little chat style book club for the whole month as we all get our hands on the book and it starts to arrive on doorsteps in early September. I am so excited for the world to hear about this book, Born Magic: Why Living an Aligned Life Feels So Hard and What to Do About It. I would love for you to pick up your copy. Not only are you supporting the Sisters Enchanted, but you are getting this work out into the world and changing the way you see yourself so you can help others change the way they see themselves. All right, y'all, grab your copy. We'll be sure to link it up. Thank you so much for listening to this a little intro to Born Magic. If you have any questions about it, definitely, let us know. But it is my passion to help people see themselves in their fullest light because so many of us so many people are walking around this earth with thoughts that are just not true to how their energy is. And I want everybody to see that they were born magic and can create a life that feels so cozy, so delightful, so joyous, so abundant, and utterly enchanted. I want that for every single person who wants it for themselves. All right, y'all. Thank you for listening to this episode. Thank you for supporting us here at the Sisters Enchanted. And until next time, I hope that you have an enchanted rest of your day ahead. If you liked this episode of the Expedition to Soul podcast, please rate, review, subscribe. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, it will really help us spread everyday magic, intention, and intuition to the masses and helps us so much as a small business. Be sure to hit that subscribe button on your favorite podcasting platform so you never miss an episode. There are new episodes every Tuesday. And as always, thank you so much for listening and being part of the community here at the Sisters Enchanted. And we'll see you in the next episode.